We are good to go, Stefan, whenever you're ready.
All right, welcome everyone to another Filecoin Meetup. This is Tuesday, November 16th, and today we have a full agenda. We have five amazing presenters that are going to talk to us about accelerator programs, incubation centers, and some amazing tooling. So let's walk through the agenda for today. First of all, we have TechStar's accelerator program presented by Isaac Kato, who's the MD at TechStar, who will be talking to us about the latest accelerator program. So please, if you're looking to apply for any of the startup accelerator programs, have a look at the TechStar's accelerator program. And then second, a new accelerator program that's driven by the Picnic team, specifically focused on enabling storage providers. So if you are a storage provider that's looking to accelerate your business, definitely tune in, listen to what we have to offer here. It's an amazing new program. And then third, we'll have CID Gravity. So Julian, Noël, who's going to walk us through a storage provider tool that helps you set price and a lot more things. I'll let him do the introduction and walk you through the tool. But really important for you to run your storage provider system. Fourth, we have Textile. Andrew Hill is joining us to talk more about the Filecoin auction. So we've been running an auction for storage providers to take deals, and he's going to walk us through sort of like the findings of that. A very interesting storage stack or Textile stack that you should know of if you are a storage provider. And then last but not least, the Venus Storage Provider Incubation Center. This is our second round. Some updates from Josh, specifically on this next cohort, and also some other updates that Venus brings to the market. So let's start with TechStar. Isaac, the floor is yours. I'll stop sharing. Tell us a little bit more about the Accelerator program.
Okay, thanks, Stefan. Thanks, great to see you. Thanks for having me today. Thanks everybody for taking some time to hear about all this great stuff that's going on. Let me pull this up and present it. So as Stefan mentioned, my name is, so we're here today, I'm here today to talk about the new Filecoin TechStar's Accelerator. So I am, my name is Isaac Kato, and I'm the managing director of the Filecoin TechStar's Accelerator, as well as our more traditional TechStar Seattle Accelerator. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I've started 2 companies, I've run 3, and I've had 3 exits. I've also been a VC for about a decade, and I've been a longtime angel investor. And my own introduction into the crypto space goes back to 2013 when I when I brought the Bitcoin miners to the green data center that I had founded in Iceland. And for a while, we had a tremendous, we had, I think at one point, we estimated that we had 5% of the global mining capacity in our data center. So that's where my journey into the crypto space began. So if you're not familiar with TechStars, we are one of the world's leading venture accelerators. We have been doing this now for about 15 years, and we have almost now, I think, about 50 accelerators around the world. We have 2 main types. We have city programs, which tend to be industry agnostic, and then we have vertically specific sponsored accelerators like the Filecoin program, which is sponsored by Protocol Labs. And is obviously focused on blockchain and companies that are building on or around Filecoin and IPFS. The thing that we ultimately offer founders is dramatically increased odds of success in your entrepreneurial pursuits. We have done a great job at helping the now thousands of companies that have gone through the program raise a ton of money, now north of 16 billion actually. We have 15 unicorns, and they've done quite well, but they also tend to do it's not just sort of the cream of the crop that does well, but we really help, a lot of our companies find success. So if I look at the Seattle program, which has been going for 15 years now, or sorry, 12 years now, 75% of the companies that have gone through, about 120 companies, are either still in business or have successfully exited. So we really do a nice job at helping companies that go through our program find their way. So how do we do it? So we are a mentor-driven program. One of the first things we do when you come into the program is we We get you lined up with typically 3 to 5 lead mentors, and the mentor pools tend to be super high quality folks who will work with you on a dedicated basis throughout the program and oftentimes beyond. We unequivocally blow up your networks. And I always tell people this is a rare chance in your life to expand your investor, partner, customer, potential employee networks by 10x, if not 100x. But you have exposure to a huge number of people from which, again, to help you drive success. There's certainly a ton of education. There's a ton of camaraderie with your cohort mates. The people who go through the programs together tend to wind up being close friends for years and years, and it's a very rich entrepreneurial experience. It's also worth pointing out that while the hallmark of our programs tends to be our 13-week accelerator program, once you're in Techstars, you're a member of Techstars for life, and you have access to the network for as long as you want to have access to the network. And you'll find a whole bunch of both conventional Web 2 entrepreneurs, but even before the Filecoin program, a number of crypto companies have gone through the Techstars program and done quite well. So that's a little at the high level what we do. So the Filecoin Accelerator is great for anybody who is building on Filecoin and IPFS. And what you get out of this program is a marriage of the best of traditional Techstars mentor-driven accelerator, where we really help you find that 0 to 1 success, but also the network experience and ecosystems of Protocol Labs and Filecoin. So when you come into this specially crafted accelerator, not only will you get our traditional mentors who might be good at fundraising or customer discovery or go-to-market, product development, and entrepreneurial leadership, you'll also get a ton of mentorship and network exposure to a number of sort of Web3 and blockchain crypto specific topics like tokenization and token design, all the special legal and jurisdictional questions that come up with crypto, and certainly how to build with various Web3 architectures and certainly Filecoin and IPFS. So again, if you're an early stage company, you're a founding team that's building on Filecoin and IPFS and other blockchains, this is a great program for you to think about applying to. We have an awesome team to help support you on your way. Both the Techstars team here, the company, I should say, the program is based in Seattle, but we run on a hybrid remote optional basis. So we are recruiting globally, and you can participate in the program from wherever you are in the world. We have a ton of experience now running fully remote programs. And all that said, if you want space, we have a great co-working space here in Seattle, and we have a great team to support you. But of course, this time we're joined by a number of the folks from Protocol Labs who will be acting as mentors, as network catalysts. And again, if you want access to this ecosystem, I can't think of a better place to come. Really, generally speaking, the program runs for 13 weeks. In the first third of it, we really work hard on making sure that you get lined up with terrific mentors and figure out what you want to accomplish during the program. We certainly give you plenty of time to actually run your company. And I should point out, this is not startup school at Techstars. So we want you to actually not only build and grow your company, but be going faster going out of it than you did coming into it, because you got great mentorship, because you met a bunch of prospective customers or community members. And certainly you ideally are on the way to raising the capital that you need to expand your business, whether it's through a more traditional equity issuance or a token issuance. And we spend a bunch of time in the final program working through those decisions, and then ideally training, well, not ideally, we do spend a lot of time in training you about how to be a great fundraiser. And I myself have raised $200 million for my companies along the way, and there are a whole bunch of other people who will give you guidance on how to do it, both through traditional equity fundraising as well as through more modern, token issuances and crypto processes. We have a steady cadence throughout the week. So every week you get to meet with me one-on-one. You'll hear founder stories from highly successful founders who have started and run and exited companies themselves in both traditional and crypto spaces. We really work hard on building the habit of tracking your KPIs. So we have a KPI session every Friday. You'll meet with your mentors every week. There will be at least one workshop a week, although again, we try to give you some space to work, and then a ton of networking. So we have a very steady cadence of the program throughout the week as well. The nuts and bolts of it, applications are open now, so we'd love to see you apply. I'll put up the link soon, but if you just do a search for the Filecoin Techstars Accelerator, you'll see a link for both office hours, and we're happy to chat with you, as well as the application. So actually, the applications close in a couple weeks, so we encourage you to get going on those. Certainly reach out directly if you have any questions about the program. The program itself will run from March 21st through June 16th. But again, it doesn't, your relationship with Techstars is only starting as you exit the program. So here's where you can apply. There's my email address if you want to send me any questions. I've also put Stefaan here. Stefaan's my day-to-day counterpart in running this program, and he'll be actively involved. And that is about it. So thank you, Stefaan and crew for inviting me up here to talk a little bit about the Filecoin Techstars program. I don't know if there are any questions, but that's all I have to say for today.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Isaac, to join us here. So apply if you are still looking for an accelerated program. This is a fantastic opportunity if you're building a business, as Isaac said, on top of Filecoin. Moving from building applications and businesses on top of Filecoin, let's move to becoming an infrastructure provider to the Filecoin network. With me, we have Stuart, Berman, and John Lee. Let's see here. There we go. Perfect. So so this is an interesting accelerated program. This is a new one. So please let's give us an update here on what you guys have to offer. Amazing.
Thank you, Stefaan. First of all, I want to mention and I want to thank our sponsors, Picnic, Protocol Labs, and Seagate for helping us stand this program up. ESPA is something we believe is going to bring a lot of value to the Filecoin network. My name is Stuart Berman. I've been in IT a long time, for more than 25 years, primarily in the manufacturing sector, although I've worked for IBM for a few years as well, and some other technology companies. And I am the program director for ESPA, and later on you'll be hearing from John, who's also part of our program. So I really want to start off with helping level set, why is this program, why is this accelerator necessary and necessary now? And one thing I want to do is kind of introduce you to a little bit of my experience in terms of in manufacturing, as I mentioned. We have put sensors on everything. You might have heard the term IIoT, or Industrial Internet of Things. And in manufacturing, you're seeing this just explode in terms of how we're putting sensors and actuators on things. We're gathering just tremendous amounts of data at this point. And this is what's happening around the whole world. It's really the next version of how enterprises, how industry is digitizing and expecting to get a lot of value out of their systems. And those that are doing it are finding extreme value. So it's not just the manufacturing side. We're seeing this all across our lives. We're seeing smart desks, smart fridges, smart offices. Everything you're looking at is not just some clever electronic device, but it tends to generate a lot of data. That data becomes useful when you can collect it and analyze it, and then gain some insight, some intelligence into what's going on. If you look at, like, let's say the automobile as an example, you'd have a gas gauge to tell you how much fuel you have in your car. You'd have an odometer that tells you how far you've traveled. But the intelligence from that little bit of data right there could be calculated to tell you more things, like how much is left in your tank, how many more miles you have, where's the next gas station. There's so much information you can gather from that initial data, and then gathering that historical data presents just huge opportunity. And that's what we see businesses doing, leveraging that. So if we look at that data, I don't know how many people are tracking this, But at the end of 2020, it was estimated there were about 45 zettabytes of data. Well, what the heck's a zettabyte? Filecoin's very proud to have 13 exabytes of data capacity on the network. Well, if you take an exabyte and you multiply it by 1024, that's a zettabyte. And so at 45 zettabytes and growing, you can imagine the need for storage. In fact, that figure is supposed to double every 2 years. So we're looking at, in a few years, to have 200 zettabytes. And then a few years later, we're going to go into the yottabyte range. That's a lot of data. And we're looking at the need, first of all, to store that data because it's being generated and it's more practical and useful in its historical form, that is collecting a lot of it. Most of this data is coming from really machine output. It's not necessarily people going to Facebook, or Twitter and generating the content. Although, if you look at like Facebook, I think last year they generated like 1.5 exabytes, which sounds like a lot. It is a lot, but compared to the zettabytes being collected, it's just a drop in the bucket. So we're seeing really machines generating all this data. We're seeing this come off of pretty much everything around us. I believe if you look at jet engines on airplanes, they can generate up to 2 terabytes of data on a single flight. So just think of all this data and how it needs to be handled. With this avalanche of data that we've got, the real question becomes how to store it. But now, not just to store it, consider that this is what we consider enterprise grade data. It's not something that will be thrown away. It's something that needs to be preserved. It needs to be handled properly. The agreements have to be in place between those generators of that data and how we store it, and then ultimately how people can retrieve it, how people can process it, and get that actionable and valuable intelligence out of it. We see organizations taking this and monetizing this on a regular basis. In fact, a lot of organizations now are asking themselves, somebody who's been involved in IT, how do we monetize this data? Simple examples we're all familiar with are companies like Netflix, right? That were able to capture their data of their users and then actually produce and create films and other content from that data, knowing that they would be successful even before these projects fully launched. So the challenge then is, how do we, knowing that there's all this demand out there, there's all this data out there that needs to be stored, how do we go about doing that? And our answer really is our ESPA Accelerator. It's a way to provide additional enterprise storage providers that can service all this enterprise data that's being created at this tremendous scale. Here are the different types of folks we see that are suitable for the program, because in many ways they're the ones either responsible for this data or interested in working with this data. So these people, these organizations, they need to be capable of handling enterprise data, being responsible for it, looking for enterprise grade services that can offer things like service level agreements and contractual agreements, using something like Filecoin, where we can store that data, but also helping them understand how that can serve them and feel confident in it. We're also including in this list those people who are partners of the ecosystem. So not just storage providers, but those who can support it and help it grow. They have to understand the network, perhaps. They might offer service and products. They might be finance related. They might really try to understand the network at a deeper layer. And this accelerator will do that. It will give them the understanding, the exposure to how Filecoin really works and how they can build their business around it. Ultimately, they really have to understand what this next generation of businesses, these Web3 businesses, will look like as it's built around Filecoin. And that's our primary aim at this point. John?
Hey there all. For those of you I have not met, I'm John. I've been with Picnic since earlier this year, and really ESPA since inception with Stefaan, Stu, and Kevin. I work on a lot of business operations and development initiatives, and will lead ESPA from a program management standpoint, along with Stu. ESPA has many benefits for the participant, with the end goal, as Stu mentioned, to bring the adoption of technology to enterprise scale. But I'll touch on some of these highlights. You will learn through our overall 9 to 12 month program how to become an enterprise storage provider. ESPA is lowering the barriers of entry by allowing participants to participate with no initial cost, receiving leased Filecoin tokens as a utility at very efficient interest rates. You will earn and prove out financial concept through what we call the residency period, with utilizing ESPA's provided enterprise compute and storage equipment in Las Vegas, Nevada. And in the end, the participant will be able to exit with invaluable knowledge to independently operate as a Web3 storage provider business with the tools they need to onboard their own valuable storage clients. The Accelerator kicks off with a boot camp in person on January 10th, in which our first cohort's application deadline will be in about a month from now, December 10th. So we have a landing page set up, web3espa.io. So go ahead and check it out for more details. Go ahead, Stu. Take us home.
Thanks, John. So this is really a timeline of the ESPA path, the ESPA program. Right now, we're in the first phase, which is really building out that data center and operational center that John mentioned. We chose Switch in Las Vegas because they have a really top of the class, top of the field facility. It's extremely reliable, and really important to us, the energy that they use is 100% renewable. They've got these massive solar panel farms that produce electricity for the use there. We're really excited that people can see the facility as part of our boot camp. We'll offer a tour of the facility either at the beginning or at the end of the boot camp period. The design of the system, as we're installing this equipment, we're looking at 50 Filecoin nodes. Each one scales to over a petabyte of sealable data, and that should be sealable within a month, which then allows it to produce block rewards for the remainder of the cohort's duration, which is typically 9 to 12 months for the entire cohort. The cohort really has 3 phases in itself. As John mentioned, there's the boot camp period that lasts a week in Vegas. That's followed by a 3-month period that we call the internship. That's some one-on-one time. It'll all be remote through one of these tools like WebEx or Zoom or Google Meet. And we expect to meet every week and go through the details of how the system works in greater detail than, of course, that first week. And then the next period is what we call the residency, and that lasts 6 to 9 months. And that 6 to 9 months is really about building out your business plans in terms of how to leverage everything you're learning here, but customized for your particular goal. And then finally, there's an exit period where you return the leased fill, and you are able to claim the block rewards that you've earned during that period, during that 1-year period. We're also intending to have an annual ESPA conference where people who graduate from the program, they've proved their proficiency, can speak, as well as some of our partners, and offer a glimpse into the future and capabilities. So we're really excited to be starting to build that now. As number 3 says, that's kind of embraces our residency and internship period, where it's really teaching the basics, teaching them how this operates, not just the technical side, say, of Lotus, but really the whole ecosystem. And that 4th period is really the end of that 1-year period. Okay. So, in conclusion, what I like to say is we're really looking forward to you joining us on this exciting new adventure. As John said, there's a website. You can go to web3espa.io. I do want to bring up a couple points about it. First of all, there's very limited space. So you want to apply early. If you can't get into the first cohort, we already see an intense interest in it. There'll be additional cohorts every quarter. So you can apply and we'll let you know if you qualify for one of these cohorts and slot you in. So every 3 months, expect another cohort to come through the system. Mm-hmm. Hopefully you'll be one of the lucky candidates that gets chosen. We do have a fill lease form that we're including in the website. So go to the website, gives you direction about how to apply for the program. But for the fill lease, we ask you to download the form and then turn it in directly to the lender. We don't need to see that, but we need to qualify you so that you can get fill that would be used for the program. We're not going to turn the fill directly over to you. As you get the fill, we hold it in custody so that we can use it as part of the mining operation and not spend it wrong. It's important that the fill stay within the system and then gets returned to the lender. So we're able to offer very affordable rates on all of this. And just encourage you to take a look at the website, see if you're qualified and interested in joining us. So hope to see you there in Vegas.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you.
All right. So if you're looking to become a storage provider, if you want to learn how to go after enterprise customers and you want to have some help, this is a perfect accelerator program. Very interesting to see that you'll have multiple cohorts. So there's different opportunities to join, but please go apply. There's limited spots, of course. One thing I wanted to ask Stuart is that for those who don't make it into the program, there will also be a virtual class, right, or course that will be generated out of this.
Right. As we're creating the curriculum, and we're in the midst of that now, that will become available to the community. Obviously, all the one-on-one work and all the intense effort, that's really directly part of these cohorts, but the material will be there. So we'll have lots of references. We're going to build on a lot of the documentation that Filecoin and the community's produced so far. So I think that in of itself will be helpful as people can really see something in a coherent way.
That's awesome. Perfect. Cool. So stay tuned, go to the website and sign up. All right. And then moving on to the next topic, Julian Noël from CID Gravity is here with us to give us an update on his software stack. So Julian, go ahead, tell us what CID Gravity is all about and how it can help our existing ecosystem of storage providers.
Thank you, Stefan. Can you see my screen?
Perfect.
Yeah, cool. So I'm Julian Noël, founder and CEO of CID Gravity. And CID Gravity is building a second layer of trust between Filecoin stakeholders that de-risk their data and increase the storage providers' profitability. At a glance, we allow storage providers to scale up their storage business and securely attract more clients. We enable enterprise clients to store data to the network, and we allow institutions to fight against illegal content. What you see on the right here is your power growth before and after using CID gravity. So this is real data. And today, over the last 3 months, we analyzed more than 2.2 million deals, and we onboard more than, storage providers onboard more than 5 petabytes of power through CID gravity. So in the team, we are 3 right now, and we are actively hiring 3 new positions. I'm working with Florian, which is leading the software development, and Benjamin, which is a developer who recently joined the team. We know the Filecoin ecosystem quite well. We are Filecoin community leaders, Filecoin plus notary, minor association representative, and we are developing also another solution called Farcaster, which is a Filecoin real-time and analytic open source solution used by more than 400 miners today. We are financially and backed by Consensus and Protocol Labs. And today we have 2 technical partners we are working very deeply with, which are Textile and S3RE, who are the 2 biggest brokers on the network right now. Why for you storage providers it's the right moment to start storing and accepting storing real data. So in July, in the Filecoin newsletters, we announced that the Filecoin network crossed the baseline, and now you are more incentivized to store data instead of just committing capacity. But to do that, actually, it's a hard decision for most of the storage providers. First, because accepting deals require more human resources than actually just committing capacity. Mainly to manage the deal flow and manage your reputation and to handle all the complexity that the storage deal is bringing. It's less predictable for you, and also it exposes you against some local law and regulation. So you may be responsible for the data you store. So enterprise clients, they want to know their suppliers, and they must keep control of the data over their life cycles. And this is another point that we are tackling with CID gravity. So as a storage provider, when you enter the CID gravity experience, you can identify your clients. You can enable storage deals seamlessly, and I will show you how. You get 10x over your storage capacity by automatically being registered to the broker and control your deal flow, how much did you receive, and so keep an high reputation through our deep integration with them. And also you can block untrusted clients that may expose your platform against service disruption or lawsuits. Let's do a demo. So the first thing you usually do is you go to our website. Here you can join our Slack community when you can ask. I would really recommend to do that actually. So you can ask all your question, and all the other miners and our team will support you. You can directly click here, and this brings you through this login page when you connect with a GitHub account. Share that from here to here. And once it's done, then you're connected. So this is the live platform. This is the live account. Actually, it's mine. What you do in CID gravity is that instead of managing, today Lotus, what Lotus provides you is the ability to set a unique price for all your clients and just decide to accept or not accept deals. So what we bring with CID gravity is the ability to, the first thing we bring is the ability to manage per client pricing, per client deal conditions. So how it's done is that the first thing you do is you create pricings, and then you attach the pricing to the clients. So here as an example, we have one default pricing, which apply to all the clients you don't know. And we have created some specific pricing for specific clients. Let's have a deep look at how pricing looks like. So when you enter a pricing, you see, you put a name, And then you can create a lot of rules actually based on very granular conditions. So like this one is for like verified deals that are lower than 4 gig and more than 6 months actually. And this is the price we set. And then we create a second one for deals that are above 4 gigs, and we decided to treat at 0. So when the deal is coming in for the client that is attached to this pricing, is like the deal is coming in, goes through all the different rules. When the rule is matching, check the price is automatically checked. If the price is correct, the deal is accepted. Otherwise, the client is automatically notified of the price that is supposed to set for the deal to be stored. So when it's done, what you do is like you manage your client. So instead of managing addresses, here you manage real client names. As an example, here we have 3 clients. What we do is like we have a client, we set a name, we attach the addresses, we attach a pricing, and then you can attach additional deal conditions. So here, as an example, we have rate limits that we can apply to clients. So we have some clients like Estuary, which is like sending hundreds of deals per hour. That is definitely too much for your platform. So what you can do here is that you can set how many deals they can send per hour. So here as an example, we set a threshold at 5 deals, so they are not able to send more than 5 deals per hour. All the deals on top of that will be automatically removed, and your platform will be safe and will not crash because receiving too much deals. When it's done, you can also decide per client to block one client for some reason. So let's say I want to block Spedium. Here we go. And then now Spedium is automatically blocked, and I'm still receiving deals for the other clients. So everything that is done through CID Gravity is done through this UI. It's very easy to use. Anybody can use that. You don't need any special expertise. This can actually also be done by an account manager that is working in your company. This is accessible through this web UI or over the mobile phone. Now you can also have block lists. So you block the addresses that may expose your client, your miner for some reason. You get like detailed deals when you can like filter and see exactly what you accept, what has been rejected. And then we reach the integration module. So in the integration module, this is very convenient. So the idea here is like, instead of managing your profile on the Estuary website over Textile Bitbot, what you can do here is that you just click, you have 3 screens, you just go through that are very easy to use, and then you're automatically synchronized and receive deals from them. So the main idea here is like, instead of each time you want to decide to accept, not accept deals, change your price for this specific client, instead of going to their website and do the change to reflect what is configured on your miner, you just do everything in CID Gravity and everything is automatically synchronized with them, which means you keep a very high reputation because they are not sending deals when you don't want to accept them, and they know your price by advance. We also provide a playground to test the rule set. So here you can just decide to see if with some specific settings, the deal will go through. As an example, this one didn't, but probably this one will. Accept it? No. Yeah, anyway. I don't know the pricing actually attached to this client, but the idea is like to be able for you to verify in advance if your pricing is working as you expect. Everything is done like is really like community and user centric, which means that you can very easily access to us, ask all the questions you ask, all the feature requests. We do 1 release per week, so it's going very fast, and we integrate the changes very, very quickly. We also provide a maintenance mode that you just click here and you stop receiving any new deals, which is very convenient when you want to plan maintenance. And the overall setup takes less than 30 minutes for you to be ready and start accepting deals. So that's all for the demo. So this is a tool that is built by the community and by miners. So today we receive more than 50 feature requests from the community. The CID Gravity community today, it's more than 140 members on the Slack, and there is more than 500 users created on the platform today. We receive most of the requests from protocol labs and really, really active miners and partners. Yeah, so that's it. So you can reach out to me directly by email if you like. You can connect on the website and test the product. We have 0% churn today. All the miners that have been testing the product are still keep using it. So this is amazing. And we want to continue and provide more features in a very close future. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julian. That's great. Okay, so next up is, let me share my screen, is Andrew from Textile. So Andrew is joining us to talk more about the competition. There's an auction competition that he started last week, and just wanted to share the results and also at the same time show what Textile's BitBot capability can bring to a storage provider that's looking to store real customer data. So let's hear it from Textile.
Hi all, thanks Stefaan and everyone for putting this on. I just wanted to join the meetup to share a little bit of progress we've been having with a competition we started a little over a week ago. The competition is really targeted at storage providers on the Filecoin network. We've been building for a few months now a technology called BitBot. And BitBot is a little sidecar for Lotus that a lot of storage providers are running, and it allows them to bid on auctions, and those auctions are for the right to store data coming from clients. This has really been our playground to experiment with this concept of auctions, and it's been really interesting and fun, and we've learned a lot of things along the way. But hopefully it's also been rewarding for storage providers because it gives them access to some new streams of data being stored on the network. To date, we've stored quite a lot of data through this system, and we have, I believe it's something like 45 storage providers signed up. I'll need to double check that number, but something like that. And so, but one of the challenges we had was actually getting more miners, more storage providers to be aware of the system. And also some of the storage providers that were already running the system, we knew that if they tuned their configurations a little bit better, they'd be getting a lot better performance out of auctions and the system we've been building. And so 2 weeks ago, a little over a week and a half ago, we launched this idea of a competition. And the competition is among storage providers that are connecting to BitBot. And so storage providers would come to the system, run BitBot, and we said over a 2-week period that started last Sunday night, Monday morning, the storage providers that could store the most data with the lowest error rate would win. And so far, it's been a really exciting competition. So actually, we have a public Discord, and every, I believe, 6 hours, we're posting an update of the leaderboard. And I just wanted to share that progress with you because it's pretty exciting. So we have 20 storage providers now that have been storing data with 100% success. And the amount of data that they've stored has varied anywhere from 32 gigabytes up to 2.1 terabytes over the last week of the competition. And so we're seeing the competition kind of move forward really fast. We knew that there would be this sort of tie between some of the top folks. So we actually added also a bonus score that storage providers are getting. And that bonus score comes to any storage provider that wins an auction in a 2-hour period. So if you're a storage provider, you win an auction in this 2-hour period, you actually get 0.05 points. And then if you win an auction in the next 2-hour period, you'll get another 0.05 points. And so the idea behind this was to motivate storage providers to continuously be bidding on deals in the auction system. And so you can see actually there's quite a spread in the rates of bonuses going out, and they're going to have a big effect on the winners of this competition. So some really cool stuff happening there. If you're a storage provider and you're still interested in running this, it's actually unfortunately too late to sign up for the competition. But there is a lot of great data that's being stored on the network, and so we definitely would love you to come and experiment and join this and give us feedback and try it out yourselves. So the way this works, clients right now are creating auctions in the system. What is an auction? An auction is just a deal, a normal deal on Filecoin that they want to get stored. They wrap it in a little bit of metadata, and that metadata is distributed out to all the storage providers that are running BidBot. Any storage provider running BidBot has their own configuration that determines how they bid on those auctions. And so that includes price, the rate of bidding, what to do if they're getting a lot of back pressure in their system, like start bidding less, for example. And by doing that, a large number of bids come in, and the best bids are selected for storing that deal. And so what's really cool is as a storage provider running that, you actually don't have to do anything. If you win an auction, that data is actually transferred to you and imported into Lotus, sort of all behind the scenes, very, very smooth for you. And so if you go to BidBot, you can see some details about how to run that and a little bit more about the configuration and setup. And just one thing to call out is we have a nice integration with SID Gravity, and I know a lot of storage providers are already running SID Gravity. So definitely take a look at that section about how to use the two together to help manage your system. And then there's also a little section about troubleshooting. I definitely recommend, if you do go through installing this, being sure that you read this as well, because they have some really great tips on lowering your error rates and ensuring that you're getting good deal flow. And if you happen to be a client that's listening to this and want to learn how to get your data flowing through this system, or want to test this with your own projects, definitely get in touch. You can find us through the Discord link right in our blog post. I'm also available, and a lot of my team are available on the Filecoin Slack, and so you can find us over there. I'm just Andrew Hill, and we'd love to hear from you if you want to experiment getting data onto this system. Thanks very much.
Cool. So great. It's always good to see if two ecosystem partners refer to each other right after right after each other. So it's great to see the collaboration between CID Gravity and Textile. And last but not least, Venus. As you all know, Venus is a Filecoin implementation that also has some updates to share with us. And today we have Josh. He couldn't make it, so we have recording to give us an update on the incubation center and some other extra features. Let me see here. Let's kick this off.
I'm Jules from IPFSForce. Thank you for listening. Bye.
And that was bye. Let me go to the beginning. There we go.
Jules from IPFSForce. I'm the community leader of Venus. It's my pleasure to do a Venus update. Okay. Right now, there are more than 70 Venus nodes running in the Filecoin mainnet, providing more than 250 PIB of storage power with an average 100% lucky value. We do welcome everyone to have a try with Venus. We cooperated with the Filecoin Foundation to launch the Storage Provider Incubation Center program. The phase 1 has done, and now we are opening phase 2 application to community, helping a group of storage providers to smoothly join the network and operate stably. Then we launched the Venus Master Program since recently to help more community members to improve their technical capacities and encourage them to serve incubation center participants after proper training. Now, For Venus Master have trained to provide a continuous support to the participants of the Incubation Center. And person the Incubation Center Phase 2 is running. Welcome to join it now. In addition to the mainnet, the Incubation Center also provides chain services on collaboration network. If you need testing of your node, you are also welcome to contact us. As you know, the first version of Venus Market has been released to community which does support dual marking, and we are now utilizing it with stage 2. We will make it as a shared module and from independent module, so there will be easy for people to deploy it together with DataCap applied by Venus team. With DataCap will be allocated to Incubation Center participants to support their deal marking and improve the whole process. We are doing more to enhance the entire system to support the storage provider. Venus cluster is the next generation of the next new version of Venus Stable. Currently, we have a beta version, and we are currently working hard to ramp up some tests and put it to production. Finally, we will continue to help small and medium-sized storage providers through the phase 2 of the Incubation Center. If you or your friends want to try it, please contact us. Okay, that's all. I'm Julian from IPFSForce. Thank you for listening. Bye.
Great. So that was it for today and for IPFS4. So maybe let's summarize it. If you are looking for an accelerated program, you're building a business, then look at TechStar's and apply for the Filecoin Accelerator. If you're looking to participate as a storage provider, look at the new ESPA Filecoin Storage Provider Accelerator. And if you are running an existing Filecoin storage system, definitely look at CID Gravity to set price and also collaborate or run the auction tooling from Textile to help in accepting datasets on your system. And if you are a Venus, you're interested in Venus, then please check out the Incubation Center by the Venus Lead. That was it for today. We'll see you not next month, but we'll see you in January. Thank you so much, and thanks for chiming in. Bye-bye.